Airbnb collapse alert. Is 2023 the perfect time to buy a home? In today's exciting news, we're diving into the viral tweet storm about the alleged collapse of Airbnb and its potential impact on the housing market. Brace yourselves for a roller coaster ride of theories, debates, and expert opinions. Let's separate the facts from the speculation. Airbnb revenue decline sparks controversy. The tweet that started it all. Reventure Consulting CEO Nick Gurley claims Airbnb is experiencing a collapse due to declining revenues. He points to a significant drop in revenue per listing in various US cities, triggering concerns about its potential influence on housing prices. Gurley's startling data revealed. Gurley's tweet unveils a decline of nearly 50% in revenues across cities like Phoenix, Austin, and more. His analysis, based on data from all the rooms, highlights revenue drops ranging from 34.8% to a whopping 47.6%. This sparks fears of an imminent wave of forced selling by Airbnb owners in the hardest-hit areas. A clash of perspectives. Hold your horses. Not everyone is convinced by Gurley's theory. Airbnb itself disagrees with the numbers, asserting that the demand for short-term rentals remains robust. They argue that their own data shows increased bookings and guest travel compared to the previous year. Airbnb's role in the bigger picture. Let's zoom out for a moment. While Airbnb's fortunes may be up for debate, experts remind us that short-term rentals only play a small part in the broader challenges faced by the US housing market. Sky-high home prices, which continue to elude many Americans, are driven by various factors beyond the scope of Airbnb's influence. The homebuyer's dilemma. It's time to face the reality, folks. Average home prices in the US are still out of reach for many potential buyers. Despite recent increases in sales and home prices, a rise in mortgage rates adds an extra burden, deterring around 30% of Americans from making a purchase. It's a challenging market out there. Airbnb collapse and its effect on cities. The collapse of Airbnb has sent ripples through local economies, triggering significant impacts on cities across the globe. As the short-term rental giant faces declining revenues, cities that heavily relied on Airbnb for tourism and economic activity are experiencing a shift in their dynamics. With the decline in Airbnb listings and bookings, cities are witnessing a decrease in visitor spending, affecting local businesses such as restaurants, shops, and attractions that relied on tourists staying in Airbnb accommodations. This downturn in tourism revenue has led to job losses and financial challenges for many businesses in these areas. Moreover, the collapse of Airbnb has also brought some relief to long-term rental markets, as properties previously utilized for short-term rentals are now being converted into traditional residential units. This surge in available housing inventory has presented opportunities for local residents, especially in cities grappling with affordable housing shortages. City governments are closely monitoring the situation, contemplating new regulations and policies to address the changing landscape. Striking a balance between encouraging tourism and protecting local housing markets has become a pressing concern. Potential wave of homes for sale amidst Airbnb collapse. The collapse of Airbnb has given rise to a potential surge in housing inventory, as homeowners who previously listed their properties on the platform consider selling them amidst declining revenues. This wave of homes hitting the market presents opportunities for potential buyers seeking affordable housing options. As Airbnb hosts face financial challenges due to decreased bookings and revenues, many are compelled to sell their properties to mitigate losses. This increased supply of homes for sale could alleviate the inventory shortage that has been driving up prices in many markets. Recent data suggests that cities hit hardest by the Airbnb collapse are witnessing an uptick in new listings. Homeowners who once relied on short-term rentals are now transitioning their properties into the traditional housing market, providing a boost to inventory levels. For homebuyers, this surge in housing inventory may create more options and potentially lead to more favorable pricing conditions. However, it is important to note that market conditions can vary by location, and factors beyond the Airbnb collapse such as overall housing demand and local economic conditions, also influence the dynamics of the housing market. Is the Airbnb collapse opening doors for real estate investors? The collapse of Airbnb has created potential opportunities for real estate investors seeking to capitalize on the changing market dynamics. As Airbnb hosts face financial hardships and consider selling their properties, investors can explore acquiring these homes for long-term rentals or other investment purposes. With the surge in housing inventory expected due to the Airbnb collapse, investors can find a broader range of properties available for purchase. This increased supply may lead to more favorable investment deals, allowing investors to acquire properties at potentially lower prices. Furthermore, investors can benefit from the existing infrastructure and amenities that many Airbnb properties offer. These properties are often equipped with features tailored to short-term rental guests, such as stylish furnishings and convenient locations, making them attractive for long-term tenants or vacation rentals. Investors should conduct thorough market research to identify areas affected by the Airbnb collapse and assess the potential profitability of investment opportunities. They should consider factors such as local rental demand, rental rates, and future growth prospects to make informed investment decisions. While the Airbnb collapse presents opportunities, investors should also be mindful of the evolving regulatory landscape surrounding short-term rentals and any potential changes that may impact their investment strategies. How the Airbnb collapse affects vacation rentals and travel plans. The collapse of Airbnb has had a significant impact on vacation rentals and travel plans, prompting a shift in the landscape for travelers. With declining revenues and a potential wave of properties exiting the Airbnb market, travelers may experience changes in the availability, pricing, and options for vacation rentals. As Airbnb hosts face financial challenges, some may choose to list their properties on alternative platforms or transition to long-term rentals, resulting in a reduced supply of vacation rental options. This could lead to increased competition for available properties and potentially higher rental prices in certain destinations. Travelers may need to explore alternative accommodations such as hotels, traditional vacation rental companies, or other short-term rental platforms to find suitable options. It's important for travelers to plan ahead, conduct thorough research, and be flexible with their choices. Additionally, changes in regulations and policies affecting short-term rentals in certain cities or regions may further impact the availability and viability of vacation rentals. Travelers should stay informed about the evolving situation, monitor the availability and pricing of vacation rentals in their desired destinations, and consider diversifying their accommodation options to adapt to the post-Airbnb collapse travel landscape. Airbnb collapse spurs discussions on short-term rental regulations. The collapse of Airbnb has sparked intense discussions surrounding short-term rental regulations as cities grapple with the evolving dynamics of the market. The decline in Airbnb revenues has prompted policymakers to reevaluate and potentially tighten regulations to strike a balance between the sharing economy and the impact on local housing markets. Cities that heavily relied on Airbnb for tourism and economic benefits are now assessing the potential effects of the collapse on their communities. This has led to debates on issues such as housing affordability, neighboring stability, and the need for fair competition with traditional accommodations like hotels. New data suggests that some cities are considering stricter regulations or implementing permit systems to ensure better control over short-term rentals and address concerns about housing availability and affordability. These discussions are fueled by the desire to find a middle ground where short-term rentals can coexist with the needs of local residents and long-term housing markets. Balancing the interests of hosts, visitors, and communities remains a complex challenge that policymakers are actively addressing. As the aftermath of the Airbnb collapse unfolds, it's crucial for stakeholders, including policymakers, residents, and industry participants, to engage in constructive dialogue to shape regulations that foster a sustainable and responsible short-term rental market. So, will Airbnb's alleged collapse send shockwaves through the housing market? While the debate rages on, experts emphasize the broader challenges of affordability and mortgage rates that impact home buyers. Strap in, folks, as we continue to navigate this wild ride and see how the housing market evolves. Stay tuned for more updates. Remember, This news piece is meant to entertain and inform. It's essential to consult real estate professionals and conduct thorough research before making any major decisions. Happy house hunting! What will you surely remember from this information we have for you? Comment down below and share it with us. Again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. See you next time.